Retiring when we turn 65 has been a time-honored tradition, but before you leave the workforce for good, there are a few things you need to consider. I talked with local financial professional Mike Kojonen tonight about some of the common myths surrounding retirement. What are the 4 most common myths when it comes to Social Security?
Well, let's start with, the first one, Jeff, is some people think that Social Security alone will provide enough income in retirement. And really, that's not the case. It was really only designed to give you enough income for about 40% of what you were making. The average Social Security benefit for those retired right now is $1,543 a month, so definitely not enough to live your retirement dreams that way. Most people are needing 75 to 80% of what they were making in retirement. Heck, I have clients that are wanting to keep 100% of what they were making in retirement or even more because they want to do some heavy travel. So definitely can't count just on Social Security alone. And we always look at that retirement piece as, the 3-legged stool. You want to have Social Security, but you also hopefully have a pension, which we know those are a dying breed. And the other leg is your retirement accounts. You want all 3 of those to work together in retirement.
We know 65 is that age we often say when retirement starts for most people, but there's a certain age that people start to think about taking out some Social Security?
Yeah, some people want to file their benefits as early as 62, and some do it out of fear because they don't believe it's going to be around. And I can let people know that it's the last few financial reports says it has enough money to fund it without making changes for the next 13 plus years. But I can also understand if you have poor health, if you don't plan to live far in your 70s, you got really poor health, I get it. But for most people, you should not be filing that early because you're going to take an immediate 25 to 30% reduction of what your 100% benefit was on your full retirement age. We call that your FRA, depending on what year you were born. Say 1954, that would be 66 years old. That was your full retirement age. If you file at 62, you take a 25% reduction. So you definitely don't want to do that because you're getting not just a reduction right away, but for the rest of your life. And you only get cost of living adjustments for the rest of the time frame there. One of the other big issues, Jeff, if you file early, a lot of people want to work and file at 62 or 63. And the problem with that, there's a thing called the earnings test. And that's where they only allow you to make $18,960 of income a year, which equates to $1,580 a month. And if you earn above that, they're going to penalize you and take some of your Social Security benefit away from you. So there's another reason not to file that early.
I think this next one, I'm in my mid-30s. I'm guilty of this one. Social Security isn't really something I think about.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can change your tune. I mean, because it's a big part of it, right? Whether you're a month away from retirement or a couple decades away from retirement, do plan, just plan ahead. This is going to be a big piece. So I always recommend go to ssa.gov, that's Social Security Administration.gov, /my account, create your account and save that login and password. And it gives you the ability to look at what your benefit is doing. They're not mailing those statements on a regular basis to people to save money in printing and mailing. So look at your statements, just see where your benefit is, but also it gives you the ability to see if there's missing income. I've had several people through the years come in here and they've had 2-3 years of missing income showing zeros, and it affects their benefit. So you have time to contest that as well. You don't have a lot of time if you're ready to retire. So one other quick note on that is how they calculate the benefit. So if you have 35 earning years, that's going to give you the best opportunity for that. They look at your highest 35 earning years to determine your Social Security benefit, whereas people in the state retirement system, they look at the highest 5 earning years to determine pension. The federal government looks at the high 3 years of income. Social Security's highest 35.
This last one, I think of your stool you mentioned with the 3 different legs being retirement, pension, and Social Security, and that's just assuming I can figure it all out on my own.
A lot of people think they can, and we even work with a lot of engineers at 3M, really close to our office. They come in with their Excel spreadsheets, but there's a lot of things people are missing. I'll say, 8 to 9 out of 10 people who come in here with an idea when they were going to take their benefits, leave our office when we give them a free Social Security report, have changed their mind. And it's because there's a lot of things they don't know about. The tax situation of Social Security, that's one thing that can be taxed. Unfortunately, Minnesota is one of the 13 states that will tax your Social Security. We already talked about the earnings test, but we have, a thing called file and restrict. A lot of people believe this is gone. Unfortunately, a lot of my clients have been told by their previous advisors that you can't do this anymore. But I helped assist a couple of mine, clients of mine here last week, where she actually filed her benefits early in retirement, but allowed him to take half of her Social Security benefits till he's 70, and it allowed his benefit to grow 8% plus cost of living till 70 years old. So people said, that's gone. I said, it's not gone. It's gone for some, but not for everybody. Widow benefits. You know, even for my mom was a divorce, you know, divorced after 23 years. After my dad passed away several years ago, she was never remarried. So she didn't get half of my dad's, you know, the divorcee benefit. She got the 100% widow benefit. You know, we've helped people backdate their benefits 6 months. And the key is you want to make sure your Social Security benefit and plan fits your retirement plan, and that's the key. We run reports, and it finds out they have to, you know, delay their benefit to a certain age. Otherwise, their retirement plan is insolvent. But for some people, it shows they can take it early, and it's going to be okay. So the key is you just want to know what is best for you and your plan.
Well, hopefully this advice, people will start to get that figured out, maybe talk with a professional on the way to make sure their Social Security is secure for the future. Thank you again, Mike. You'll find more money advice from Mike on WCCO.com.